Hello, it's the governor. How you guys doing? I'm here to bring the second lesson to the unspoken magical effects of sex. This lesson is entitled, Did You Know? Now we look to thinking with the big head, and as we know, one of its sources is the Bible. And the Bible points out the evolution of the player. And in the beginning, where it's first mentioned of sex, there is a translation that shows that Adam knew Eve. And so we're going to take a look at what could that possibly mean, and how could that have an effect on this culmination of a physical desire. So we kind of have to look at what does it mean to know? To know is it's broken down into three parts, the definition. The first part is to have information of some kind in your mind. So if we look earlier in the book, it states that Adam recognized that Eve was a part of him. And so maybe that's where there was some type of exchange of information, but there was some recognizing of likeness between him and Eve, where he said, you are like me, you are a part of me. Of all other beings, you are a being that is a part of me. To understand something, to have a clear or complete idea of something, is the second part of the definition to know. To understand something is to have an extreme familiarity with it. Like you understand that 2 + 2 = 4 because you're very familiar with it. Like it's very tangible to you. So you understand when you know something, you know it because it's tangible to you. You recognize what it is and you understand it for what it is. To have learned something as skill or as a language, or to have learned. Well, all of these definitions or parts of the definition all add up to an acquiring of something new in the mind that was not there before. So what we're going to look at is some things that the player should know when he goes to have this exchange of God power with the desire known as sex. Like there's some things that he should know before he bestows his God power into a vessel to assure that he's doing what sex is supposed to be for, which is a reproduction of a spirit, a likeness, a want. It's the physical combination of something that the player wants to reproduce. And so we can't get up because we understand that the game is what it is and that the world does what it does. So if you're a player in the game and you're playing to win, of course, if you're playing to win, you're not doing what everybody else is doing. So of course, at the first onset, it looks It looks odd. It looks peculiar. It's peculiar because this is not what everybody else is doing. Because everybody else is not winning. Everybody else don't have eaves. Everybody else is not enjoying the pleasure of being a king in their castle. They're not taking over lands, making manifestations, and ruling over their realm, their people. So what we're understanding is these things are unspoken. They're obviously unheard because nobody is doing them, because they're all losing. That's why we got these child support cases. That's why we got dudes running from the police and they're getting killed in fear of going to jail over child support. That's real. People's checks getting garnished. That's real. So these secrets, they help the player understand, well, how are they manifesting bad times in their lives? Like, why are things going on? Well, let's first off look at where they're putting their God power and what is their intentions and the intentions of their vessels and the things that they're creating. Because these things are real. They're just not spoken. And so because they're not spoken, people don't know them. And that's what we're here to understand. The first thing excuse me.